I'll be right with you, buddy. You gotta see the shape of this fucking guy that just walked in.
Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. Episode what?
141 or 2?
We're
around that area. We're around that area.
Yeah, somewhere.
This one we're talking about, to go with the Halloween theme, Halloween season. The series Terrifier, specifically Art the Clown. He's sort of like the kind of like a throwback of the slasher films. I mean, there's been so many of them over the years, but the ones you think about all the time, you got Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and you got Chucky, and but they're all kind of like old, and this guy is kind of like taking the horror world by storm, I guess, the past few years, and has like a big cult following, and sort of like the slasher guy now,
Yeah, so we're gonna have like an open discussion here. We're not really going to go in rounds or anything like that. So we just talking bullshit. But so it all started. Now I didn't see this till later. So it all started with I guess All Hallows Eve, the first one, and it's pretty much I guess
it was like a short film, right?
Short film, yeah. So it was like almost like I don't want to say like Tales from the Crypt or something like that, but like that kind of series where I guess a creep show, the way it's kind of like 3 movies in the one movie, but it pretty much just follows around on Halloween night. It follows around 2 kids and their babysitter who discover an unmarked VHS tape in their trick-or-treat bag. They decide to watch it, and then they see all the weirdness. So going from the timeline, so I guess it's 2013 is the timeline. They watch the VHS tape. There's a bunch of creepy shit on it. You see Art the Clown at the train station. He drugs and kidnaps a woman, takes her to this tunnel where other women are, and then these creatures appear. And one guy comes up with a meat cleaver, and you see a weird faces popping up. It's just fucking really strange. So imagine that if you were in that position, if you found the VHS tape, would you put it on? I would. I probably would.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, now, you don't see them around anymore. So
you gotta go back in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if you turned it on and seen that shit, would you be like, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for real. I think you'd probably tell everyone about it. All your friends. Yo, I just got this video and I found it and I turned it on and there's some fucked up shit, and
yeah.
And then I don't know. Do you tell the cops about it, or it's just like
right? Because you don't know if it's just a movie or
if it's real or
yeah. So at one point in the first Halloween Eve, she puts the kids to bed. Then she puts the VHS tape back on. And then a new short film starts. You see a woman who just moves into a house, and then there's a glowing light. The power goes out, and now there's an alien. What the fuck? Weird. I mean, the guy who directed it, what was it, Leone or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Leone, it's Italian. He's fragile. So I guess he was just throwing shit up against the wall, really, at that point, I mean, it's just
sometimes quite literally.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but before they take her away in the first one, before the alien takes her away, I guess she's holding on to like this thing, and they see a painting of Art the Clown that her husband supposedly drawn because he was an artist. Babysitter's still wondering why she's watching the tape, but let's the next scene play. There's one more scene. You see a woman in a gas station. You see Art the Clown and a coworker trying to talk to him. Art's doing his normal fucking mime thing. Then Art's killing the guy. The woman gets in the car. She tries to call somebody. Art appears on the road with the big circus sign, which I kind of found amusing. Like he's hitchhiking. Then he appears out of nowhere. He's in the woman's car. So you don't know what the deal is. But anyway, the woman wakes up with no arms and legs, and she's got like all these obscenities like in her, and I don't know, it's really fucking bizarre. And the thing is that, is he supernatural? Is he not supernatural? I guess he somewhat is supernatural, but I don't know. I think it would be scarier if he wasn't supernatural. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, he got shot through the head, right? And his brains are hanging out at one point, and he gets up and kills the mortician or the whoever he is, the autopsy doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sorry, normal people don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the scary thing is that it doesn't die; it comes back.
Right.
Right. I mean, if you just shoot somebody and they're dead, and that's it. It's like, okay, you're relieved, but then when they come back, it's like, oh shit, the fuck! It's like a nightmare. That's what's scary about it. Because
Yeah.
it just keeps on. It's like recurring.
Well, it seems like he's a mixture of all of them. Michael Myers, Little Freddy. There's definitely a mixture of, I guess, all the ones we grew up with. I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of the series, but the one thing I do like that it's a throwback to the stuff we grew up with, like the horror movies we grew up with in the late 70s, early 80s. It definitely has that feel, right? I would say.
Yeah, it's Halloween. It came out on Halloween. It's based around that. It's just I like the fact that he doesn't. He's like a mime. He doesn't talk, so he has that Jason and Michael Myers thing to him.
Right.
But he's kind of funny with it. He doesn't speak at all. He's kind of funny with his expressions. It's like, like how Freddy Krueger was funny, or like Chucky used to say some funny shit. So he has personality. Like Jason and Michael Myers didn't have personality because they just have a fucking mask and they just kill.
Right.
But this guy,
I think if Ahmed was here, he'd actually kind of say opposite. He would.
He would. Well,
Michael Myers. What do you mean, Michael Myers?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, he doesn't talk. He doesn't express anything other than he's pissed off and he kills.
Yeah.
But Art the Clown, man, he's just that in the first Terrifier movie, that my favorite scene is when they're in the pizza joint. And he the two girls are on one table and he's in the other one with a big fucking trash bag, and he's just kind of looking at them, and man, that is just fucking creepy. I mean, you look at his face, it's just, and then he goes to the bathroom and he comes back, and that whole scene is just.
When I first put it on, that's where I turned it off. Because the first time I tried to watch this, I was like, "This is fucking disgusting," and I just turned it off. But then I went back and watched it after. But
man, I love that movie.
The scene where
I didn't see the first one. I found the second one on Amazon Prime. I couldn't find the first one anywhere.
Oh, you got to see the first one, Mike. Please, you got to see it.
I mean, I looked into it. I looked at some of the parts. I looked into this timeline video of it and everything. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. How can I say? I like the character, but the movie's kind of like, I've seen it before, kind of thing. Just it's kind of pumped up.
That's the thing with those movies. You can't reinvent the wheel. It's just it's a killer. He's gonna kill people. It's usually women. They're scared. But it's just like I think it's and there's always been like clowns. I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, none of this stuff is original. It's just you gotta have fun with it. And I just think the thing is that he's a clown. He's a mime. He doesn't speak.
That's what makes it interesting.
I
think that's what makes it interesting.
And he's got that creepy fucking mouth.
It's funny, man, because I have this picture of a clown that my mother painted in our living room. And it's like, it's realistic. It's not like some like cartoon looking thing. It's like it's fucking like, the more you look at it now, it's like fucking spooky, man. It's like it's got these eyes, and wherever you are in the room, these eyes are looking at you. So you can't escape the gaze in this painting. That's how good of a job she did on this.
What's think back, because I have this is my answer. Like, when did clowns become like scary and creepy? One of them
I don't
sticks out.
know, man.
One of them sticks
Poltergeist?
out to,
Maybe.
yes, yes, that's it.
Yeah,
For
okay.
me, Poltergeist. That was the first, and I think I
Yeah.
was like 5 years old when I saw that movie. It was on HBO. We had just gotten cable.
Yeah.
And man, that scene with the kid and the fucking clown doll in the bedroom, man, that's like scared the shit out of me. And that was when it was first like, oh my God, clowns are actually like scary and creepy. I never really thought of it that way because clowns are supposed to bring like happiness and joy and
Well,
funny.
that's the irony of it, right? So,
right.
Same. That's like one of the first horror movies I saw, man.
Yeah.
I still love that to this day.
I-
Even though some of the effects are cheap and everything, that was great.
Great
I'm
movie.
sorry,
Part of
that
the
was a great
charm. Yeah,
movie.
that's part of the charm.
great movie.
And,
I mean, listen. I think a lot of problems with a lot of the movies in general today is that the characters aren't usually good. As far as the supporting characters, all these old movies, the characters. That's why we always talk how good the '70s movies were. The acting was good. The characters, like you were invested. It's like watching, old time wrestling. You're invested in the character, right? The character, So, it's funny with all these, a lot of TV, and we're all guilty of it. Whether it's something like The Sopranos or Michael Myers or something like that. You're always, or Goodfellas or something like that. You're always on the side of the villain, or the guy that's supposed to be the bad guy. Even though we know it's wrong or right, you're always kind of seeing what happens to him.
With Sopranos, you're kind of forced into it because that's
That's his story. That's his
What
story.
was and what was that one horror movie? Is it Dig Up Your Grave or something where the girl is
I Spit on Your Grave.
Spit on Your Grave. Yeah,
That's
I mean
great,
that
crazy
one.
movie,
You don't
the first one.
like that's the movie where you don't root for.
Well, she gets.
I wasn't allowed to watch that one.
She gets her revenge.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch that.
That's a crazy movie.
I got to check that out. I haven't seen
Still,
it, but everyone says that's like brutal.
It's brutal.
It's still fucked up. Yeah.
Almost like what was the Last House on the Left? That same kind of.
I don't know if I remember the title. I don't know.
There was a remake. The remake was actually pretty good. But
I never saw that original one, and I know that's a classic. Last House on the Left. I'll have to pop that in there.
Yeah, but it's like a revenge movie. She gets her revenge. I Spit on Your Grave. That was a rough one, dude. I remember the same thing. Couldn't watch it when you were young. It was too.
And both of them, the original one and the remake, are actually pretty good.
The remake was good. I thought the remake was good.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about the old movies and stuff, how they are. I think that's why I like the first Terrifier so much, because it kind of the way it was shot reminded you.
Oh, it did.
Of like an old movie like from the early 80s.
If anything, that's the charm of it. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they actually use film, the same type of film and stuff like the movie making gear or whatever, but whatever they did, I mean, it looked like a throwback movie.
Yeah, I mean, what I did really like about it too, I could be wrong, but it looks like all the effects in it were hand done. They weren't computer generated or
right. Mm-hmm.
And that type of stuff, like all that CGI type of graphics,
it ruins it. It really ruins the horror stuff.
I think it kind of ruins almost any movie anymore. It's like you look at it and the actors aren't acting right with whatever they're supposed to be interacting with. It's just weird. It doesn't come off right.
I think the guy who created it, and he wrote it, produced it, directed it. I think he also did the makeup also.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty much almost like a one-man operation, and they filmed it not far. Like it was only in Staten Island, which is
I think simple is better. Simple's better.
Yeah.
Especially like if you go to and I did see the new Exorcist finally.
Where'd you see that at? Movie theater?
On demand. I think it's on demand now.
Oh, is it worth renting? I noticed that.
I mean,
too. It was like
I would
$20
because what it is, but to get off topic here for Terrifier, we'll go back. But for the Exorcist deal is the first, no bullshit, the first 40 minutes of the movie is really, really good. It taps into some different stuff, and it's a slow burn in the beginning. Like the first Exorcist was a slow burn. And then it just things start to happen. It happens and it's over. It's like, I don't know. It went to a different movie somehow. Will I still watch it again? Probably.
Is it still involved with the original one somehow?
Very, very loosely, just to the point where Chris McNeil writes this book, and the father of one of the girls seeks her out for help and advice, and it just gets goofy at that point. I can't even say I mean, it just, yeah. I don't know what it started out with a great story, and it just went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Even like the exorcism part wasn't even. It was not even a big deal. It was like, yeah, it's over. It was quick. There was where the first movie was so character driven, and even like Mike said with the effects and stuff like that, it was handmade, and it was when you start adding, and not that they had a lot of it in there, but when you start adding like somebody's possessed and the flames are coming off the wall, it looks big.
I remember, what was it like the original Exorcist? Like, weren't they doing stuff like I think they got this like Japanese like sound guy or something like that, and he was like folding like dried wallets and stuff to make the sounds and like doing all this crazy stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I know at one point Linda Blair was strapped into like this harness thing, and when she was rocking back and forth, somebody was actually pulling her. So that's her actually getting yanked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was
and
all
the voice and her demonic voice was like some like older actress, and in order to get that raspiness, she was like chain smoking and drinking like a lot of whiskey in order to get that voice.
Let me ruin my voice for 5 minutes of movie time.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't Linda Blair, obviously. As a kid, it was some older woman doing the actual voice.
Yeah, it's like almost like the way music was back in the day, where it's just like now we could hit a button and get a sound that sort of sounds like what we're looking for. Right. Where back in the day it was like, throw the headphones throw the headphones and a mic in a trash can. Let's see what it sounds like.
Right.
It's just you tried crazy shit.
Yeah, they had to get creative. Now there's a button for all that.
Yeah. But okay, let's get back to Terrifier for a second here. So 2016 is when the actually before that, there is a second Hallows Eve that comes out that has nothing to do with Art the Clown. You don't even see Art the Clown in that. And same thing, bunch of little short stories. It was okay. Terrifier 2016. Leone's I guess making this movie now. It opens up with a deformed woman on a TV talk show who survived a horrible killing spree, of course. Now we see Art the Clown putting on his makeup, which you kind of see him. He looks kind of human. You can't really tell. But the bag is... It's funny and disturbing at the same time. The fucking trash bag.
Yeah. It's got to be a hefty one, man, because no ordinary, dollar store generic bag is going to hold all those tools that nice.
I think it's one of those industrial strength bags, Mike.
Yeah.
That they use for cleanouts.
I got to get me some of them trash bags, man. Those look pretty good.
Yeah. So the bag, and he creates all his own weapons, pretty much, I guess. That chain with all the knives and shit, that's weird. I mean, that's the charm of it is that it looks homemade. I think where it loses it a little bit for me is that the supernatural part of it, I guess. It's more scary if it wasn't. But okay, so we see him put on the makeup. I guess he's getting his bags all ready for Halloween, because that's the only night he's supposed to come out, as far as we know. You see two girls coming home from a Halloween party. Art the Clown shows up. He's fixated on one of the girls. The other girl seems to be more playful. What if you were talking about the restaurant scene or the pizza shop scene where she's sitting on his lap taking a selfie, and he's just like playing along, kind of without saying anything, which is pretty creepy.
Well, let me stop you for a minute. So go back. Is it supernatural though? I mean,
it's definitely supernatural element.
So he's a clown, and he builds stuff. How do you know he didn't build something? He really didn't shoot himself, and it was just an effect that he did. It brought him in the corners, and he takes the makeup off and then goes out and kills again.
I guess we don't know. That's
just a theory of mine. I mean, maybe he's really not. Maybe there's more than one Art too that they don't show you. Because remember, like a lot of those old ones, like even Michael Myers or somebody else killing him one of them, right?
It was
even
Friday
Jason.
Friday
the 13th had that, right? So if they're taking stuff from a lot of the horror genre and those big movies like that, maybe they're taking something like that.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it's so open. I mean, the couple, I did watch a couple podcasts on it too. And I guess the thing is they're making him so vague that you can put him in any situation, kind of like Michael Myers, right? So if you leave it so open, you can put him anywhere on Halloween. There's no ending to the story, really. It's like another boogeyman kind of deal. So going back to this, then you see the part where I guess he fucking makes a mess in the bathroom, which is disgusting. Horrible part. And then I guess one of the guys, that's in the restaurant or the pizza shop, sees it and they throw him the fuck out, and he's all like, he's just, I mean, listen, as much as I kind of don't like the movie, then there's some parts where I get a kick out of. So he is a character, and then the guy's got to clean up, and then Art comes back, and and which I didn't even notice this until I watched somebody do like a timeline of it. That his name's Art. It seems like he only goes after artistic people, which I never figured out till somebody pointed it out. They were all artistic, somewhat, right? Yeah. So I don't know. What was your and I like the idea of the girl that at the end of the movie. I don't want to give away the whole thing, but the girl at the end of the movie shows up all deformed, and then she's connected to the whole thing, which that was an interesting twist. But anybody want to add anything to the first Terrifier movie?
I mean, it probably has one of the best kill scenes ever. I mean,
oh, the one where she's watching, the other girl's watching. Oh,
yeah. I mean, probably don't want to give it away, but that killed. I mean, all you have to do is say that the scene, Terrifier, and people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
you got to see
out
it
there. Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, it's gruesome.
Yeah, it's so over the fucking top, but I guess that's the point.
And there's a crazy kill scene in the second one too.
Yeah, well, he did see the second one. The one with the girl, right, where the mother walks in, kind of that one. Yeah,
the bedroom. And, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. And then so then he comes out with the second movie comes out, and
last year.
Yeah, and it's over 2 hours, which is crazy.
2.5 hours, I think, which was fucking crazy. But I went to
I was a little burnt on that, man.
Yeah, did you go to the movies?
Shaved. I saw it at the movies. Yeah, it was actually the last time I think I went to the movie theater was to see that last Halloween last year, and I loved it, man. It was a little long, but it was there's a lot of shit going on in it,
Yeah, I mean, we were introduced to the pale girl, which I don't know how that's going to play in, but same thing, which I didn't pick up till I watched somebody's timeline thing talking about. It was a girl that he killed back whenever, and that her name's Emily, which fits into the same name that the mother or the cat lady with the baby mentions Emily, which I didn't even get that until I listened to the timeline, because I went back a couple times.
Yeah.
So there's definitely stuff to link up. There's more connection you get if you watch it more than once or twice. I mean, the second one was definitely an advanced version of the first one. I mean, I think it's good for what it is. I think I'm just kind of bored with the slasher film stuff, and the supernatural element kind of puts it out of whack for me. It's not as scary to me. So I don't know, but as far as do I think he's the new face of horror? Absolutely.
So what, The Exorcist is supernatural?
It is, but it's different. When you have a serial killer, it's different. It's more scary if it's.
But all those guys are,
Yeah, they all become supernatural.
They all,
Jason definitely was.
I mean, out of all of them, now look, Freddy's pretty scary because Freddy comes in your dream. You can fuck with your. So that's a whole different. I thought out of all these movies, that was the most original concept. Was the Freddy concept? I thought.
Yeah, and then to kill him, you got to bring him into reality,
right? And when she brings the hat in, I mean, that's. Yeah. I thought Freddy was definitely the most original out of all the horror movies as far as that goes. Like, that was a great concept, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? You think Art the Clown's going to stick around? I think so. I think he's got a couple more movies.
I mean, it had kind of like a grassroots kind of cult following, and then the second one came out, and it was a huge hit. They made a lot of money, and the guy does a lot of those horror cons dressed as Art the Clown and charges like over $100 for a photo, and fucking lines are ridiculous.
Who is the actor now? Because it's a new guy from the original Hallows Eve. Anybody know his name?
No, I don't have it in front of me, but
let's see if I can find it here.
Casting, here we go.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Cast. Art the Clown. David Howard Thornton.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Terrifier 2. And set to reprise the role in Terrifier 3 coming out next year.
I'm surprised it didn't come out already. I thought it was going to be this year.
Yeah.
But
Is it going to be in 3D?
Right. Terrifier 3D.
I mean, he's definitely, it's a creative character. I don't know how they're going to play the pale girl in the thing. Because it looked, like you said, the most confusing thing is it's like, is it supernatural? Is it not supernatural? You know, but there is some eerie things with him playing patty cake. It was just.
Right, because the guy in the laundromat didn't see the girl.
Right.
But then other parts, it seems like people did. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So wrapping up here on Terrifier, Damien. What's your whole thing on it? What's your thoughts?
I love it, man. I love it, and I think the first one is already like a classic. I think. I think I saw it maybe like 4 or 5 times already, and I probably will watch it again. Maybe this weekend I'll watch the first one again. The second one, I'm kind of reluctant to watch it only because it's long. The first one is maybe like an hour and
it's not that long.
It's easy. It's an easy watch. But in fact, I watched it like a month ago. I'm a huge fan.
Okay, Mike D.
I definitely like the character, man. There's just something twisted about him because he's just laughing the whole time he's killing these people, and it's usually in front of somebody else that's watching.
Yeah,
and which I think makes it even makes it more disturbing. I don't know. I kind of like some of the old horror where less was more. I mean, this just shows you everything. It doesn't leave anything up to the imagination. Right. It's kind of, I guess it could be disturbing at some points of it.
Yeah.
But the character, man. I mean, the guy, what's his name? David Thornton.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a hell of a job at, just moving around like a clown, and just he's not just some guy just as a clown walking around doing it. He actually is, feels like he's a circus clown. He's sort of got that iconic look to him, that black dot on the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, he's I think this is one that's going to be around for a bit.
I totally agree. I think the guy did a great job, and Art the Clown's probably here to stay.